You're listening to All the Pieces, a podcast created to keep you informed. Now here's your host, Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Curran Mohan.
A cancer diagnosis changes everything. Beyond the medical treatments, there's the challenge of travel, distance, and being away from loved ones. What if world-class cancer care could be brought closer to home? Today, we're talking about Mosaic's vision to bring cancer care right here to Albany, ensuring families can fight cancer without leaving their community. Joining us today is a frequent flyer at this point to our podcast, Dr. Dias from Albany. So, Dr. Dias, let's just start with it. Introduce yourself and what's your role with the organization before we jump into it?
Yeah, I'm Katie Dias, originally from Albany and now working in the Albany Hospital. I'm a family physician by trade, and I've been the president of the medical center there for the last 4 years.
Excellent. Thank you for that recap. So let's start with the big question. Why bring cancer care to Albany now?
This is when all the stars have aligned. So the work to bring cancer care to Albany goes all the way back, well prior to my tenure here. Previous CEOs have had the idea, have had the framework. What really came together were the people and the community support. So Dr. AJ pulled me aside one day and said, "Hey, I've got a doctor for you." And that's really when the wheels started in motion for this. So that's been a couple of years ago. We have been blessed to get to know Dr. Arsenault. We knew him as a hospitalist,
Yes.
and now we know him as our oncologist. So working with him, with Dana McDaniel, with Dr. AJ, Heather Thornton, the entire cancer center team, really it's all come together. That combined with the community definitely supporting this initiative, we've really been able to bring it all together.
Excellent. And I know Dr. Arsenault really well, and I know for a fact he'll make a better oncologist than a hospitalist. So if you're listening, Andre, welcome to the team, but in a different capacity.
Yeah.
So what will cancer care in Albany look like in the future? Will patients be able to access the same services here in St. Joseph?
Yes. So it will be very similar care plans, similar standard of care, just on a smaller scale. We will be able to take care of the same patients in Albany that you would see in St. Joe or Maryville. One difference between us and St. Joe, we will not do radiation therapy. We'll still send our patients here for that. But our goal is really to eliminate that travel, be able to keep that care local with nurses and physicians and staff that our patients know, and in that environment that feels like home.
Yeah, and I can tell you in Albany, it truly feels like a family taking care of family. It is such a tight-knit team that every time I go there, I get inspired to replicate it at scale, in other places. So why is it so important, in your opinion, Dr. Dias, to keep patients closer to home when they're going through something like this?
Yeah, I think everybody has a touch point with cancer, whether you've been a patient yourself or been the support for someone who has cancer. And one of the most grueling parts of your cancer diagnosis is having to travel for chemotherapy.
Right.
Those treatments can be very rough medically, emotionally, mentally. And, current state, our patients travel at least 45 minutes, if not more, many of them an hour up to 2 hours to receive that care. And so being able to eliminate that need to have to drive when you're not feeling well, have to ride in a car. I did that for a period of time with my mom who had cancer, and she, those rides were so tough, and it's really hard to kind of see someone go through that. So eliminating that. We also know, especially from our community health needs assessment, that transportation is a real issue for our communities. And again, the expense alone of having to travel can be prohibitive. And, we even see some patients potentially choosing not to treat their medical conditions because they know the burden of the transportation they can't bear. So eliminating that, being able to have the care manager, the social worker, the navigator right there on site, being able to really wrap our arms around those patients under the same umbrella as Mosaic Cancer Care is really important.
Yeah, that's quite a powerful personal testimony about your mother's journey. Thank you for that. And that's a very good point and call out about those intangibles, those social determinants of health, and how it really impacts true treatment. And if we're to be an equitable system, cutting that small niche or one barrier is really what true care is about. Just to pivot a little bit, I know St. Joseph benefits from their connection. At least the cancer team does a lot with Mayo Clinic. Does that relationship trickle over to your side?
Yes, we will have the same resources, the same availability to utilize Mayo Clinic, just as we do current state in family medicine and primary care, all our specialties. That will be the same with cancer care also.
Excellent. And you touched on a very important point, which was community at the beginning of your answer. So we know that building a cancer center in a market like Albany is a huge undertaking. How has community and philanthropy impacted that project?
Immensely. In fact, I would say that it would have taken us, it probably would have taken us longer to bring this to fruition without the community support. We certainly would have had to postpone other projects that we were working on, if we didn't have the community support. But it was almost instantaneous. Once we announced that we were going to move forward with cancer care in Albany, everyone in town was, coming to me, to Laura, to anybody who worked or had a connection with the hospital and saying, "How can we help? What can we give to? How can we help you fundraise?" And our community came through with over $220,000 of
Wow.
philanthropic support, which is incredible for a county and the communities, to do that for their hospital and for their fellow community members.
Yeah, I don't think I can say it enough. The power of community and a rallying cry for healing that community is such a powerful thing. Every dollar, every cent, every good luck helps.
Mhm.
And it's better to have dollars associated with those good lucks. But if a community bands around its own healing, it is a powerful, powerful call for action for the rest of us. So, when will this new facility be open and what does it look like? Walk me through that.
Yeah, construction is complete. The room is beautiful. Any caregivers who are visiting or working in Albany, come find me because I love to give you a tour. It is
Part of your other duties as assigned,
It-
tour guide, president.
absolutely always happy to show off what we have at Albany, but we will still need to go through state inspection. So we are
Small
wrapping
hurdle.
up a small hurdle. But once we get through that, we will be able to be completely live with our chemotherapy infusion space. Um, Even with that going on, Dr. Arsenault's first day with us will be September 18th. So we're going to go ahead and get him going in the clinic and establishing patients. We have a physician assistant who we are expecting will sign on to join us up there, to be on site and help with the day-to-day things. And then we will have our big ribbon cutting that is open to the public. It will be from 4 to 5 p.m. on September 24th.
September 24th. Will it have a giant scissors? It's always a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, big golden
Absolutely.
scissors is
Might have to
guaranteed.
find the UMKC scalpel that
Oh, I
they
saw
did
that. Yeah.
their ribbon cutting with. That was pretty cool.
A little dangerous, but I like the
Yeah.
intention behind it. But
Yes.
yes, ribbon cutting is September 24th.
Mhm.
We are super excited for providing this service to a community such as Albany. It may be small, but my God, it is mighty. And we're
Mhm.
especially thankful for Dr. Arsenault for joining that team. Dr. Diaz, I cannot thank you enough for your leadership in that community. A lot of these things might seem like one-offs or pet project, but I can tell you from the years of working with you, it is slow, grinding intention and that doggedness to deliver on the promise
Mhm.
of being that hometown girl taking care of your neighbors. So I really appreciate your leadership. And for our listeners out there, cancer care isn't just about medicine. It's about the people. It's about the families, and it's about the communities. Albany's new cancer center will have patients receiving cutting edge treatment without leaving their home, which can be a huge barrier. And for those of you who are listening and would like some more information about it, Dr. Das will gladly show you a tour during office hours. And there's a big ribbon cutting on September 24th. Those details will be provided when this podcast goes live. Dr. Das, thank you again for your insight and the development of this amazing, amazing service. And for our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. Until next time, take care, brush your hair.